Welcome again. Welcome to Boston for those of you who aren't local. And I'm so glad all of you are with us. I actually have the distinct honor of welcoming you to the 2017 JEIC Oasis of Change. How did I get this distinct honor? We all know how connected the Jewish community is. What do they say? 6 degrees of separation? Well, my friend and colleague, Rabbi Shmuel Feld, with whom I worked when he was teaching at JCPS, Boston's Jewish Community Day School, while working on his doctorate at Boston College, contacted me to tell me about the work he had been doing on behalf of the Mayberg Foundation with Manette and Louis Mayberg. He asked me if I might be interested in learning more and if he could engage me in it. He invited me to join them in Bal Harbor for the Jewish Education Innovation Challenge. He explained to me that the Maybergs had decided to do something about the state of Jewish learning in day schools and the experience that students are having. To that end, they created JEIC and launched it in 2012 with Rabbi Feld as director. The first retreat was held in 2013. Rabbi Feld recommended that I meet the Maybergs. He said, we share something very deep in common. We are positive disruptors, otherwise known as troublemakers, seeking to demonstrate that Jewish learning can be deep and engaging, no matter what your observance is, to demonstrate that we can make Jewish learning accessible to all students and to improve the way Jewish values, literacy, practice, and belief are transferred to the next generation. Rabbi Feld knew that I would be hard-pressed to turn down his invitation. I attended my first Innovators Retreat in 2014, where I was inspired by Manette Mayberg's thoughtful words of Torah, her insights and directness in calling a spade, and her bold and inspiring call to action. I was hooked from the very beginning and have been privileged to not only work with Manette and Louis, but with Todd Sukol, as well as Rabbi Feld, and then to expand our conversation to include Jonathan Wucher on behalf of the Lippman Camphor Foundation and the Camphor family. Subsequently, we spent months in deep discussions, brainstorming how to go about shaking up Jewish education, celebrating what is effective and innovative, and disrupting what isn't. These discussions led to the creation of our Team Challenge initiative, Hakaveret, Hebrew for Beehive, a collaboration with the Mayberg Foundation once again taking the lead, and the Lippman Camphor Foundation for Living Torah, and Walt and I joining forces with them to bring together a group of innovative Jewish educators, the Hakaveret designers who you meet today if you haven't already, to develop new models of Jewish engagement and learning that will be piloted in schools in the future and hopefully be adapted and proliferated. So here we are in Boston, so appropriately, a hotbed of innovation, not only in high tech and biomedical research and development, but also a hub for innovative Jewish education. Personally, I've been privileged to experience and be involved with many of Boston's amazing Jewish education initiatives. Over the last 2 days, as the School Challenge grantees and the Hakaveret designers met at Hebrew College, I could not help but think back to my own formative experiences studying at Hebrew College in its Prosdor High School program and attending Camp Yavne. And today, I'm in awe of the way Hebrew College Rabbinical School has re-envisioned rabbinical education for the modern pluralist world. Through my involvement with JCPS, I have seen what is possible in Hebrew teaching and learning, the integration of STEM and Jewish studies, the power of an intentional pluralism of engagement, and the impact of instilling habits of mind and heart throughout a school community. Boston is also home to a new kind of yeshiva, yeshivat or Yisrael, where the young men are not only inspired to live a life of Torah, but are also receiving a top-notch secular education. And Gateways, access to Jewish education, now in its second decade, providing a comprehensive set of services throughout Greater Boston and beyond to promote the meaningful inclusion of individuals of all abilities in Jewish life and learning, as is not found in any other community. The list goes on. Many of you here represent those innovations and exciting organizations, because in Boston, we have the opportunity to tap into a wealth of exciting educators in a community where Jewish learning is so highly valued and innovation thrives. How fitting it is to bring JEIC here to the birthplace of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. JFKs Legacy is a vision of political action and public service based on courage, service, inclusion, and innovation. He challenged the nation to reach for the impossible. As a Peace Corps volunteer, I took that challenge. I believe in our power to change the world. This coming Shabbat, we will read from Parashat Behar Bechukotai. Behar on the mountain, Bechukotai, according to my laws. One powerful message we can take from this week's reading is that it is in partnership with God, Bechukotai, following God's laws, that we will create the future to which we aspire. We cannot just sit by and expect that things will happen. Powerful and meaningful Jewish learning and living are available to us. However, we are responsible for creating the conditions for them to take hold. It is up to us to pass this rich legacy on to our children. When we take on this challenge and climb the mountain, Behar, once on the mountain, the rewards will be great. Well, I have the floor. So before moving on with the program, I want to take this opportunity publicly to express my personal appreciation to Todd Suko. Where is he? In the corner at his desk. That means you don't want to be bothered. He's the executive director of the Mayberg Foundation. He's my colleague and now my friend. And I want to thank him for his inspired leadership. You are a mensch. You lead with integrity and encourage all of us to bring our best to the table. Todd will tell you that he learns from everyone. But for me, I feel asiti latzmi rav. Todd, I'm blessed to have made you my teacher. Thank you. And of course, I wouldn't have the wherewithal to be involved in any of this without the encouragement, wisdom, and partnership of my amazing husband, Walt. Rav Totot. So it is now a privilege to introduce a person of true vision and leadership. For over 20 years, Manette Mayberg has dedicated her personal energy and invested in the Jewish people. She is a co-founder of the Jewish Women's Renaissance Project, which now partners with the Israeli Ministry of the Diaspora to bring thousands of women from 25 countries to Israel on subsidized transformational missions with the goal of changing the world through Jewish values. And it is because of her personal drive to take action that the Jewish Education Innovation Challenge was conceived. Let us welcome Manette Mayberg, who is an inspiration to us all.